there's so many programs and resources for parents, right? And there's so many resources and programs for recovery. There's not as many that address both. And there's never a time where you're not a parent in recovery. If you have children, then you're a parent.
The way I see First Steps Together is recognizing that we can reduce barriers and increase access to very high quality of care. Not necessarily because somebody needs it, but because they deserve it. Because it's the right way to care for a human being, especially somebody who's a parent who is on a recovery journey.
Historically, what's been more typical is that people get into recovery and then when they're more stable, they start to think about their parenting. But from the beginning, this program has been based on the principle that using people's identity, tapping into their identity as parents is a very grounding part of their recovery. Our services are provided primarily by peers who are parents in recovery themselves, and many of whom have had experience with the child welfare system.
I chose this work because I was a child of 2 parents who were addicts. And I was always curious and wanted to know about addiction. I wanted to be a voice for those children. I feel like the children get left out sometimes. And I think with this program, one thing I like about it is it's a parent-child interaction program. And if I can be that child to share my voice, share concerns, and what the child may be feeling.
So my journey actually that led me here stems back probably 20 some odd years. I am a person that is in recovery. I devoted my life to active addiction for many years, and I've been in recovery for the last 9. And when I got into recovery and really gave it my all, I found that it was a powerful tool for me to be able to give back to people who walked the same or similar path as I have. First time I met Hannah, she was scared. She didn't really see a way out. She needed somebody who understood where she was coming from in the recovery sense, but also in the parenting sense. We were able to separate the two, but collectively work on them at the same time, which is also a very unique piece to this program that most other programs do not have.
Our support goes way beyond just, sobriety and getting through that. She was there through me being a new mom again. This is my 3rd child, but it's been 7 years since I've had a baby. So it was brand new to me. And, I was going through all these different emotions, postpartum and, the sleepless nights and all that. And I could talk to Abby about that, and she's a mom too. So we had that together, to talk about. And even beyond moms and recovery, I could talk to Abby about anything. If I was just having a bad day or just needed to vent, I could reach out to her.
The recovery coaching was hand in hand with a parent aid. That was what set everything apart. I was not being told how to recover. So it was nice.
So parenting is really hard for everyone in the world. The neurobiology is changing and the psychology is changing. The science is there to tell us that that's a really important time to intervene. And we know that, unfortunately, the disease of addiction often gets in and interferes with that psychology and actually interferes with that neurobiology as well. This massive change and shift that happens around becoming a parent that we know we can help people do and feel much, much, much more pleasure in that experience. And that's part of what we're there to highlight.
Recovery and parenting is not a linear process. It's a journey. There's ups, downs, you stumble, you fall, you get up, you're having a great time, and then things happen. And all of that is welcome and encouraged to be, talked about for what's real. And that in itself creates an environment that people feel comfortable in.
Parenting really is a catalyst to recovery. It's a motivating factor. Nobody wakes up and says, I want to be struggling with addiction. We always want to be the best parents, no matter what our life circumstances are. So we honor that by saying we're here to meet you right in this space as the parent that you are and support you through that journey.